Good morning, everyone. Here's your weather hazard briefing for Monday, May 16th. We've got more showers and thunderstorms today, multiple rounds that'll persist into this evening. With this above average temperature pattern that we've had the past day or two, this will persist through Wednesday, it looks like at this point, before we see a change in the forecast. Ahead of the next low, Wednesday and Thursday, we're looking at some much stronger winds across the region. By the time we get to Thursday and Friday, now the trend is towards drier conditions for the Snake Plain, the Magic Valley, down the South Hills, the Albion Mountains, the mountains down south towards the Utah and Nevada borders. Still looking at a decent chance of rain and snow showers elsewhere, but it still looks like it will be much cooler across the region. We're talking, running 10 degrees or so above average or even more than that. Ahead of the low, we're probably going to be running 10 to 15 degrees below average with that pattern coming in for the end of the week. Satellite this morning, moisture moving in across the area, and this moisture has spelled some showers and thunderstorms through the evening and overnight hours. We've seen some pretty gusty winds and a little bit of blowing dust. That trend will continue through today. The blowing dust potential is pretty isolated, but it will be there. Outside of thunderstorms, it'll be a bit breezy across the Snake Plain and Magic Valley for this afternoon. For tomorrow, we're starting to be under weak high pressure. That still doesn't mean we won't see some gusty winds over the Snake Plain and Magic Valley, and some lingering showers and a few thunderstorms tomorrow, especially in the afternoon up around Island Park. You can see Wednesday we get that wind picking up, and don't be surprised if we see some at least lake wind impacts for the Snake Plain, but also a little bit of blowing dust across the Snake Plain and Magic Valley as well. Showers moving into the Central Mountains and Eastern Highlands. Thunderstorm potential Wednesday is very limited, and even under the low moving in Thursday into Friday, it'll be limited. The stronger winds do spread across the region a little bit more Thursday, and where we don't see any precipitation, don't be surprised if we see some a little bit of blowing dust. And the winds will be strong enough Wednesday and Thursday in some places to create some hazardous driving conditions for folks with larger vehicles, larger semis, that type of thing. And then we continue with showers, especially over the higher elevations on Friday as well. And again, that trend towards maybe little to no shower activity over the Snake Plain, Magic Valley, and into the South Hills. So turning back to where things will be headed for the day, just a few lingering showers up along the Montana border and into the Central Mountains. And honestly, the higher resolution models haven't been the best overnight with what we've had so far. So I wouldn't be surprised if we see a few showers or a couple of lightning strikes elsewhere across the region through the morning. The trend is, though, as we go into the afternoon hours, a little bit of an uptick in activity, especially across Limhi County and up towards the Montana border, and again down south across the South Hills and the Albion Mountains. But again, it will be warm this afternoon, and that'll be enough to probably kick off at least a few weak showers or a weak thunderstorm or two over the rest of the region. This is the most likely areas we would see redevelopment this afternoon, and then as we go into this evening, that should end across the region. Maybe a few lingering showers overnight into early Tuesday morning before we dry out for about 24 to 36 hours. Going back to the forecast itself, beyond that potential of thunderstorms is there. We're not expecting any strong or even severe weather across our regions today. That is shifted out into southern and southwestern Montana, maybe the northern side of Yellowstone National Park. But temperatures for today, we're going to be pushing pretty close to where we were yesterday. Some folks approaching the 75 to 80 degree range in the afternoon. Looking at 50s and 60s if you're headed up into the mountains. For tomorrow, maybe just a bit of a brush back on the temperatures by a few degrees, but still running above average across the entire region. Now, going into Wednesday, that's when we're talking about those winds picking up ahead of that low over the Central Mountains and a good chunk of the Snake Plain, Magic Valley. Some of these gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour at times, and that trend continues to Wednesday evening and Wednesday night. And this is actually a pattern, a lot of times even when we get these windy patterns, it drops off in the overnight hours. We may not see much of a drop-off in wind later Wednesday night into Thursday morning across central and eastern Idaho. Temperatures do rebound a couple of degrees. I would not be shocked, especially with this pattern. Sometimes the temperatures are a bit underdone. If we can get a little bit of downslope along the 84-86 corridor, we may see some folks pushing near 80 degrees once again. A little bit cooler on Wednesday with showers up and moving into the central mountains late in the day, also up towards Island Park and Monida Pass. There are those wind gusts. They continue Thursday, but you'll notice they're shifting southward, still looking at some gusts 35 to 45 miles per hour across the southern and far southern areas of our forecast area. That'll take us down into the South Hills and the Southeast Highlands as well. And those wind gusts weakening, but still continuing the farther south you are going into Thursday evening and Thursday night. And there is that drop back in temperatures with low pressure moving over the area, even though it is looking to trend dry in some places. We're not going to get out of the 50s in the lower elevations, the mountains in the 30s and 40s, especially over in the central mountains, up along the Montana border, and over into the big holes and Tetons of western Wyoming. And temperatures maybe rebounding a degree or two on Friday, but still back to around 5 to 10 degrees below average at that point. So once again, we have more showers and thunderstorms. The potential of there, some gusty outflow winds with those storms for today into this evening. It will remain above average. We're talking 10 to maybe 15 degrees above average through Wednesday. That's ahead of the next storm. We'll start to see the winds picking up middle of the week, and we could see some impacts from those gusty winds, even a little bit of blowing dust possible, maybe some of our larger vehicles strong enough to create some hazardous conditions when a crosswind situation. Otherwise, still cooler Thursday and Friday. The best chance of seeing showers now will be over the central mountains and the eastern and southeastern highlands versus the entire central and eastern Idaho region. Have a great day, and do stay safe out there, everyone.